Welcome to Coffee and Cosmos with Robin. It's Tuesday, September 12th, and my name is Robin Fritz. So today we're going to be talking about sacred work, or soul growth and sacred work. And we're also going to be doing our regular guided meditation with Fallon and a healing with the goddess and a crystal of the week. Plus, I would really appreciate it if one person in the audience would raise your hand and volunteer for a free intuitive and healing reading. And I will grab someone as soon as I see it pop up here. Again, I'm using this new platform, so I'm trying to get used to it. So today, again, my name is Robin Fritz, and I am an intuitive and spiritual consultant and certified past life regression specialist. So I host a radio show at omtimes.com called The Practical Intuitive Mind, Body, Spirit for the Real World, Mondays at 2 Pacific time. So today again, hi Anna. We're going to talk about the role of sacred work in our lives. So first, I would like to start with a guided meditation with the crystal Fallon. Fallon is a citrine Lemurian quartz. Yes, isn't he awesome? And it is male. I find most things that in fact, everything that I talk to is either male or female, but Fallon is citrine Lemurian quartz. Hi, Maria. And he's a rare power crystal. The combination of Lemurian quartz and citrine is extremely powerful and also makes him really beautiful. And if you just take a deep breath, let's just get ourselves grounded and balanced together today. So if you take a deep breath, breathe in and exhale, and just breathe in all healthy, positive energy. And you will connect with Fallon in the way that your intuition works most strongly. So seeing, hearing, feeling, or knowing. So take your attention to the top of your head, and we're just going to breathe down our face all the way to our toes, right? Top of your head to the bottom of your feet. And just breathe in this energy and just allow it to clear you out and get you grounded. So top of your head, breathe down your face, your neck, your shoulders, your chest, your hips, your knees, and your feet. Top of your head to the bottom of your feet. And just feel that rapid clearing, blockages going away, the tensions of the day going away. And it's just you in this moment with us. Good morning, Cheryl. Thanks for joining us. And now imagine Fallon as a gold light at your feet and rotating. And as he moves up outside your body, just if you want to experience that energy flowing into your body, imagine a gold light flooding your heart. And with each beat of your heart, just flooding your system with healthy, positive energy. So imagine coming up from your feet, past your knees, your hips, your chest, your shoulders, your throat, your throat chakra, your third eye, and your crown chakra, top of your head. Crown chakras tend to be wide open when you're experiencing Fallon's energy. So just feel that, and we'll ground down and get us grounded back in our bodies at the end of the broadcast today. So again, your comments pop up really quickly and go away. So if I have a volunteer for a quick intuitive reading, I missed it. So try again. But let me talk about, and chime in here with your comments. Spiritual growth through sacred work. And I talked about this yesterday on my radio show, but the reason I bring it up again, and will probably again in the future, is that as an intuitive and spiritual consultant and as a past life regression specialist, I get a lot of people who ask me why they're in dead-end jobs or they're frustrated. Okay, Cheryl, awesome. What's your question? Okay, and Cheryl, I saw Cheryl's question first, and I think that's probably all the time I have. But for those of you who are volunteering, I also will be taking a question each week during these broadcasts, so tune in again next week. But also, please send me a question or call into my radio show. So you can, and Angie, also call into my radio show on Mondays at omtimes.com, 2 p.m. Pacific time. Practical, intuitive, mind, body, spirit for the real world. Call in or email me a question at robin@robinfritz.com. You need another job. Hey, that's exactly what we're talking about today, Cheryl. So perfect timing. So let's talk about this a little bit and then let's look at your issue. Hello from Ontario, Canada. Hi, Mary. Thanks for tuning in. So let's talk about this concept of sacred work. And when people email me and they're frustrated with their jobs, believe me, I get it. I had a series of frustrating jobs early in my career. Thank you, Shelley, for chiming in here. And we all have those. And you know what? Work is part of our lives. We have to work to pay the bills, right? And then we come home and we clean house and we have to feed ourselves and feed the animals and feed the kids if you have them. And as I said yesterday, and I stand by this to the day I die, nobody has to make their bed. So, you know, you're given a free pass on that one. But, you know, humor aside, work is a serious part of our lives. It doesn't just keep our bodies here. It does keep our souls together. So let's talk about what I mean by that. And how do we find joy in our work? You know, hi, Kelly. We don't always enjoy our work, but we can make an effort to. And I know that may sound trite, but if we make an effort to make our work sacred, something really special happens. And so as we get into this subject, let's try getting into it and releasing our worries about our jobs and our... Okay, Cheryl, hang on. I got it. Hang on. We're going to get to you. But thanks for sharing that. So you want to know what you're looking at next? You want to look at options? Let's chime in with that while we talk here. So we don't always enjoy our work. We make an effort to, and a full deep breathing. Okay, so one thing that I noticed in my own life is after breaking my back in a horseback riding accident, years went by and I developed this thing called paradoxical breathing, which sounds kind of metaphysical, right? But a lot of us have this. And most of us, especially when we're tense in our daily lives, in our work lives, or just overwhelmed with the housework, as well as our jobs, we breathe from the top of our lungs, and that's really shallow breathing. And we've forgotten to breathe from our solar plexus. So okay, got it. Thanks, Cheryl. So if you breathe from your solar plexus, you're breathing all the way down your lungs. And when you breathe in healthy air, and try it right now, healthy air, your solar plexus, your gut actually expands with that air. And when you exhale, it flattens. And with paradoxical breathing, it doesn't do that. It does the opposite. So in essence, we're not, taking advantage of our ability to breathe correctly. And that adds tension to our lives. It adds tension to our work lives as well as our home lives. But try this at work, like before you go into a meeting, and breathing deep into your solar plexus, and see if that helps shift your mindset away from work being an issue for you or a dead-end job or just really tough, and seeing what other value there is in it besides supporting you and paying your bills. Because there are some other things. One is that the jobs that we have are supporting our neighbors, they're supporting our communities, they're supporting our bosses, who we may not always get along with, but they're also supporting our country, but they're also supporting the business itself. And if you've listened to any of my broadcasts or my radio shows or looked at my website, you know that I live in a mindset where everything is alive, and everything really is alive. So yes, healing jobs. Healing jobs is important, and that's what we're concentrating on today too. Thank you, Shelley. our businesses, the work that we do, it's alive too. And our businesses, even if they're not our own business, but they belong to somebody else, that business has a soul, it has consciousness, it has a job to do, it's created to do a job, and it has a desire to do the job the best that it can. So whether you love your job or you're ambivalent about it, stop and talk to the business itself. Ask it, what can you do to support it? And then tell it what it can do to support you. And I know a lot of people don't think about it this way, but I know that that helps you do better at your work, but it also helps tie into the whole idea of work as sacred work and the jobs that we do as sacred, because we're creating community there. The other thing about our work is that it grounds and balances us. Last week I talked about sacred play and how play helps us tap into our creativity and gives us the downtime from a stressful life. But our work actually grounds us. We're there, we're doing our work. I know when I was talking about someone teaming up to do intuitive work, it was very important to me that we also had very specific, concrete jobs to do in our daily life. Shopping for groceries, cleaning the house, those kinds of activities that keep us settled in our bodies. Deanna, I don't know, how can we let go of, what are we letting go of? Answer that for me, please. So sticking to a job when it's hard or boring teaches us discipline, right? And fortitude. It helps us develop skills for the job that may be coming next that we like. It gives us the income to, to pay for classes or to do some research into something else that works for us. But it also builds community, and it builds us up, and it gives us the strength of mind and the strength of body to work through hard times, because we do have hard times. Yes, it's hard to let go. Well, Deanna, as a healer, you are probably a very strong empath. And that's another thing to talk about in our jobs, is going out and doing the job and then being able to literally walk away from it at the end of the day. So you're not worrying about your patients. You're not worrying about the accounting numbers if you're an accountant, whatever job it is that you have. Yes, meditate, walking in nature, all of those things that help clear you out. But it's also realizing that our jobs do come with limits. They're 9 to 5 or whatever it is. And the biggest thing that I learned when going through an MBA program was to sit down, take the test, even though I didn't understand anything that was on the test, and neither did my fellow classmates. Take it, get it over with, and walk away. It doesn't mean you don't have compassion for the people that you support as a nurse or at any other job that you do. It's that you learn to separate it out and walk away. And again, as I said, businesses are alive. They do have feelings. They do try to do their jobs. And, this reminds me, next week we're going to, in coming weeks, next week I have another subject planned, but in coming weeks I'm going to talk about how to separate from businesses like medical care businesses that are literally reaching out and pulling energy from anything they can to do their jobs. And I learned this the hard way. I will share this in an upcoming episode where we'll talk just about that. But if you're a healer, Cheryl, that is awesome. And I haven't gotten to your question, but I will here. School is rewarding, and learning is always helping you grow and celebrate how amazing the world is and how many different jobs there are. I'm always amazed if you drive around your town and see all the different people doing all the different things they do. It takes all of them to create a community. May sound trite, but it's true. But hospitals, medical facilities are very, very strong, powerful beings. They are strong empaths themselves, and they will pull energy from you. So you need to pull strong shields around you and say, okay, at the end of the day, you go home and that's it. So remember that, and I will address that in a whole other episode coming up. So thank you for that. So Remember that all work is valuable, so don't devalue yourself, and don't let what society says about a particular job affect you. If that's a job you're called to do it and enjoy it and have a sense of humor. And I promise you, connecting with the work that you're doing and asking how you can support it and it can support you can really do wonders to deepen this sense of how sacred the world is and how sacred our work is. Because ultimately we came here and we chose our bodies to grow our souls, and this is the soul experience that we have now, and that work is part of it. And work gives us strength to stand in our truth. So let me back up a minute to Cheryl, and Cheryl needing another job and your contract expiring, and that's tough. So here's what you do. Here's what I would suggest is, hang on, I was just listening to your spiritual team and the work that you're doing right now. So this is interesting because it ties into the subject today, but the job that you're doing now, Cheryl is very interested in you. The business itself finds you to be a very valuable team member, and it's not very happy that you're leaving. And so that should make you feel good that you are being valued. And, I'm sure you're also being valued by the people that are in charge of the contracts. But, things happen and contracts expire. Have you thought about going to them and asking them if that could be extended, or to sit with the feeling of that, do a salt clearing, clear yourself energetically, go for a walk, and invite the energy that was so supportive in the work that you're doing now, for it to speak up and say, hey, yes, YouTube is changing the way we work. To speak up and say, hey, I feel this connection to the work that I'm doing now, and where else can I experience that connection? It may be the same work, and it feels like it's the same work, Cheryl, but it also feels like it's in a slightly different direction. So I'm not sure exactly what you're doing, but look squarely at it, and then look over here. Like, could you move into teaching? I know you said you like to go to school, you like to learn. Could you move into teaching, or my mind just went blank, but tutors, that was the word I was looking for. A tutor in a school situation where you're working one-on-one with students. And I'm not sure what kind of work you're actually doing, but it feels like moving towards working with special needs people, either students or adults with special needs, and supporting them. See where that goes. Email me at robinfritz.com, ROBYNFRITZ.com, and see how that goes. But practice energy healing at about noon today on my Facebook page, The Practical Intuitive. I'm going to be doing an intuitive moment on energy healing, and we'll cover that there too. But Cheryl, is this resonating with you? Is this giving you some ideas? Because the work you're doing seems to be a really great fit for you, and look at ways that you can expand that and save up all the money you can so that it'll cover like a couple weeks of dry spells before you actually land on it. Oh, what about working with, have you thought about teaching though? Because it feels like teaching seems to be something that you're interested in. Medical billing and coding, that's really hard work. I admire you. I couldn't do that. It's hard. But there are individual private practices that look for that. But I just feel you moving in towards teaching people, and maybe it's because you like school. So think about that as a side venture. I know I read recently where schools are literally hiring a number of foreign teachers because we don't have enough teachers here in our country. And I don't know where you're at, but the need for teachers is really great. And your spiritual team seems to really be smiling when it talks about teaching. So take a look at that, see what it feels like, and send me an email and tell me how that works for you. So today I hope the idea of sacred work and really partnering with the work that you're doing and asking its support, but also realizing that you're part of a community and your work is valuable, whatever it is, will teach you to honor yourself. Because a lot of people, when they email me and they're upset about their jobs, they're not really honoring themselves. And that's the most important thing that you can do, is honor where you are in the moment. Look at it objectively, say, okay, how can I grow from here? How can I learn from here? If I need a different job, how can I go out and get that and do that work? And keep plugging through it. It is hard to be out of work. It's better to negotiate from a place of strength by having a job. But Cheryl, your bosses really do value you. There may be opportunity for growth in that job while you're looking for something else. So I'd like to turn it to, it's kind of interesting. Oh, you can actually see this pretty well. This is Petersite. Let's see how much closer I can get. Well, it looks really great to me on the screen, but I kind of like Petersite because it's like a Art Deco crystal, because it's wavy, you know, it's kind of swirly pattern. To this particular piece, it's brownish. Petersite is spelled P-I-E-T-E-R-S-I-T-E. And I chose Petersite today because it is a stone that helps you stand in your truth. So it's great for people who are focused on work issues, whether you're loving the job you have or whether you've had a few road bumps and you want to grow through them and develop more skills, or whether you just want to keep your current smooth flowing job freely flowing. Petersite is a good crystal for you. It also happens to be called the Tempest Crystal or the Tempest Stone, and it's good for working with storms, which of course the United States and the Caribbean has experienced in the last month. And it's good for your intuitive development. So Cheryl, again, and all of you who were volunteering for readings, English teacher in Venezuela. Wow, that is awesome. Good for you. I know of people who are practicing in China, teaching English in China. What an experience. That's awesome. So back to the subject of sacred work today, Petersite links you to your own internal guidance, you know, and helps clear blockages and confusion. So Cheryl, if you can find a piece of Petersite nearby at a store nearby, or find a good source online, I highly recommend Petersite to support you through your contract ending and your exploration. But your guides are telling you not to be afraid to explore something a little different. So maybe you could add this side area if the tutoring thing even makes sense to you or resonates with you. It's what came up, it's what they showed me there. So Petersite also helps dispel illusions, you know, from authority figures. So if you're at a job and you're questioning what's going on there, and believe me, I have heard of some very strange things in different businesses, businesses being taken over by, shall we say, unfriendly sources. So if you're looking at a job where you just don't agree with them, that's something that Petersite can support you through, to help you see through the illusions and to find your own guidance and your own truth around that. And by try Petersite. I really like it. I've had people have good experiences with it, and it's really a supportive stone, and it's not very expensive. A little piece like this will cost about, okay, Shelley, so great. So you're there. Awesome. So kind of scared me when the screen went dark there. So before we conclude today, I just want to invite you to take a look at the webinars I have up on the Om Times Experts page. I am so grateful to be a member of the Om Times community, and I hope that you've liked their Facebook page. Please go to my Facebook page and like it. It's the Practical Intuitive Robin M. Fritz. And go to experts.omtimes.com/RobinFritz, ROBYNFRITZ, and look at all the webinars I have up that are already recorded and the upcoming webinars that I have a whole bunch in October. But next week's Thursday, September 21st, we're going to talk about resolving grief. Cheryl, thank you. Resolving grief and connecting with our dead. So tips on how we deal with grief, how we continue to experience joy after we've lost loved ones, and how you can actually connect with them on your own without the use of a medium. And I am a medium, so we'll have a really great time together on this webinar. It's Thursday, September 21st at 11 Pacific time. If you sign up and join live, I do have some special offers on there, but I would love to share this very healing webinar with you. And I know that the tips in there will help you deal with your grief and connect with your loved ones. And coming up in October, the truth about Lemuria and Atlantis, animals, the afterlife, and reincarnation, working and healing with crystals, and clearing ourselves and clearing our spaces. So a busy month in October. So as we end today, I want to thank you for joining me. I want to thank Cheryl for volunteering for a reading. And Cheryl, please email me or connect with me on Facebook at my personal page too, Robin M. Fritz. But try connecting with your business, try connecting with your job. If you work for yourself, connect with your work. I'm a writer and I teach people to connect with the project they're working on because it has things to say to you too. But remember, whatever job you do, to treat it as sacred because it is, and treat yourself as a sacred being and enjoy your work. Have that sense of humor. And now, as we end for the day, let's do a healing for all of the upsets in the world currently, or wherever the energy wants to go, and we'll bring that healing back to us too. So the healing technique from the goddess, cross your hands on your heart. And as you breathe into the palms of your hand, just feel that energy flowing there, not from you, it's the energy from the universe. You're just connecting to it. Blow it into the palms of your hands, and then hold your hands out and just allow that energy, which is sentient, like the work that you're doing and the business you work for, allow it to go wherever it feels it's needed. And there are plenty of places in the world for that, including right there in your own home and in my home as well. Just allow that to go and release it and bless it on its way. And now cross your hands on your heart. Breathe into your palms. And breathe. Breathe that air from your lungs into the palms of your hands, and then put your palms back on your heart. And as you breathe in, just feel yourself grounding back into your body. Connection with Fallon, it makes the crown chakra wide open, so just feel it closing back down today. Taking that peace into your daily life, into your play life, into your work life. And let me know too on my Facebook page and by email what you would like to talk about in upcoming Facebook Live sessions. Thank you for joining me today. Peace to all. Goodbye.